Hello everyone, I'm Keen947, aka Wolfkeen, and welcome to the Wolf Podcast, where we'll be talking about the 19th episode of Persona 5 the animation, Aloha. With me today is...
Aloha everyone, I am DM Mikami DM Phone 3000.
Aloha, I am FlOrangey.
Aloha, everyone. This is Mario Fanboy 15, aka that guy who... Okay, I know I keep saying this, but this is really getting old now. Okay, this is the shortest title of a Persona 5 episode now. I swear, if there's a title that's shorter than this, I'm going to scream.
And to add on to that, oh my god, they've been influenced.
Even
I blame Dean!
I am the influencer.
Dude, I was just glad that they went that route with Ren, having him literally say Aloha when he came back.
He does the thing. He does the
He does that in game too. He does that in game too. Like, he'll actually do the Aloha thing in game.
No lie, I was doing it when I was saying it too.
Oh my god.
Aloha.
Oh my god. But anyways, before we get started, any kind of comparisons we make to the game and animation are purely done for analytical reasons. To give a brief synopsis of the episode, they basically combine the Hawaii trip that the group goes on along with the beginning parts of the Okumura arc, where basically we learn about this guy who stands the biggest person in the game from all these mental shutdowns for Okumura foods. And yeah, it then leads to basically a massive fight between Morgana and Ryuji, and oh, that's the one thing I've always despised in the game.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that when we get to the differences.
Yeah, differences and comparisons, we will talk about that because I have a few things to say on that front, but anyways...
Oh, Nelson, I do have a question for you. Did they somehow fuck up the Hawaii trip even more?
No, I think it was...
They saved it.
No, they saved it.
better.
They made it a lot more fun to look at. I mean, they actually went on fucking, like, trips and shit. But anyways, like I said, we'll get to that in comparisons. Dean, give your thoughts.
Makoto in a hula skirt was something that I never knew that I wanted, but goddamn, I'm glad I got it.
There's another thing that I bet you really liked.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was a thing that happened.
Waifu sensei.
Waifu sensei and Shiogi waifu. Okay, but thoughts on the episode. I did not have much expectations going into it, considering that it was the beach trip, and we did talk about it on the last podcast, how they didn't do so hot with the beach one, and they did even worse in the Hawaii one somehow.
Yeah.
But this episode wasn't bad. I really liked how they handled the Hawaii trip. Like, they actually saw more sights. It actually was a lot more eventful and a lot more fun to actually, see Hawaii through their perspective. Although it's still unusual to hear American guys speak perfect Japanese. Huh. Wow, I wish that I was in that course.
Yeah, I wish they pulled the Yakuza 3, because Yakuza 3, whenever you run into an English speaking character, they speak in fucking English, both in subtitles and in voice. I'm not even joking. Hell, one of the characters in Yakuza 3 who, normally speaks Japanese, he speaks English. Like, his actual voice actor speaks English to one of the people.
Those English-speaking NPCs, are they actually voiced by English voice actors, or is it Japanese voice actors trying to speak English or having a very heavy English accent?
I think
No, just to say real quick, just because we are going off point, in Yakuza 3, some of the people are predominantly English, and that's primarily, and like I said, me explaining all that would be convoluted as all shit, but the Japanese guy, basically the guy that you're the main bad guy in the game, he's primarily Japanese, but yeah, his voice actor is actually speaking perfect English.
Oh, that's pretty cool, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's able to transition from Japanese to English and then back to Japanese.
Nice.
Now, that's some good voice talent there.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike this episode where it's clearly folks with a Japanese that were originally Japanese and they're trying to speak English.
Well, that's not. Well, isn't this usually the case when it comes to anime?
It is, but still.
Sadly, but then again, if a game like Yakuza can pull this kind of shit off, a game from the PS3 era...
They probably won't, I bet the guys were just like, it's not worth it. It's only for one episode.
A1 Pictures doesn't care or have the money to do it.
Yeah, because
I thought that was only the animation.
Yeah, because they spent it all in the fucking animation.
Oh yeah, that shower scene was totally worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And that one scene with Kawakami.
Oh yeah, 3 different stills.
I still think in the second one, her neck is not attached to her head is not attached to her neck.
It really doesn't look like it, no.
And her eyes look so dead inside.
Well, isn't that really fitting for Kawakami? Let's be fair here.
Points.
Especially considering what happens to her in the game.
Yeah, but anyways,
and who she is.
But anyways, we're going off topic.
But this is the fan service episode.
Yeah, this is like the most fan service that this game and this anime has gotten so far.
Yeah.
We're just like, man, the beach episode, the fan service was really tame. This is where all the fan service went.
So if you really wanted to see Kawakami in a lot of sexy bikinis, yeah, this episode's for you.
Or you wanted to see Hifumi in a bikini.
Okay.
Speaking of which...
Oh, go ahead.
Yes, called it. Ren talks to Hifumi in this episode.
So he doesn't go on. So he doesn't go on a walk with her.
But to be honest, I'm at least glad that they have Ren now have some sort of a connection with Hifumi, because this actually works towards her, like, starting her confidency.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just to get this out of the way, I was like, man, Hifumi's area is really distracting.
Her area?
Just say it, Zach. Boobs.
Her boobs. All right.
Boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's typically when some people say area, they usually go much further downstairs.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't remember them being this big in the game.
Well, then again, she always wore a suit, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
And again, I did spend time with Hifumi when I played Persona 5, so, yeah. Alright, but going back on it, I did like how they handled Hawaii a lot better than they handled in the game. They showed a lot more sights and all. The only part I was just, like, extremely... It was just part of the ending, but that's because it's more leading up to.
Yeah.
Well, I was just saying, you can only polish a turd so much.
Yeah, pretty much.
They handled the argument like pretty decently. Like I could see where they're all coming from, and I liked how they were like, you know what? Let's back off a little bit, and then
let's slow it down. Like that was one of the things I really liked about. Here's the thing. That made me like the fight a little bit more, but I still hate the fact that they went this route.
Yeah, especially with Morgana basically being like, what is with you all? Come on, let's go do it. And I'm just like, dude, you know what you're getting yourself into, right?
Yeah, and then him literally saying, it's unbelievable that Ryuji's my only ally. I'll get to comparisons in a little bit, but, that scene I really didn't mind because, Ryuji was on board with Morgana, and Morgana literally just insults him offhandedly.
He threw him under the bus, basically.
Yeah, he did. and then when Ryuji called him out on it, Morgana went all in.
I guess you could say she went for an all-out attack.
She?
She?
He. What the hell are you guys talking about?
She said
I slurred. Sorry.
Anyway, is there anything else you want to say, Dean?
Nah, I'm good.
Colt?
I actually don't have a whole lot to say about this episode, other than that I liked it, and that I've said that I'm probably going to find a lot to say about it, because that's usually what happens. I don't think I like this one as much as the beach episode, but I'm really happy we got all those expanded scenes of the gang doing stuff together besides just wandering around aimlessly on the beach on their cell phones and stuff like that. But I swear to God, the second half of the Hawaii trip was basically Horn Dog Ryuji.
Yeah, it really was. It really fucking was.
And it's like, oh my god, Ryuji is channeling the Yosuke right now. But at the same time, Yusuke makes it all the better. I just love that. He's like, I need you to come with me. You just need to be my prop.
I'll say this. At least Ryuji doesn't drag Mishima this time.
And Ren.
Yeah.
He's like, come on, guys. Not interested. Huh? No.
Yeah, literally, just Ren's like, no. And then fucking Ryuji just hounding Ren about, did he get that girl's number? Just like, fucking back off. Like, back off, man. Jesus.
Well, to be fair, Nelson, this also kind of happens in the game when they
yeah,
first
but not
talk
to this degree.
I think it's better here, honestly. Though I'm a little bit disappointed that the whole what kind of girl or / guy you're into thing got cut short with Ryuji just being like, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
But I did like Red just flatly saying you bailed.
Ryuji.
Also, it's just like, I'm excited, and Ryuji's just like, you don't look excited.
Yeah, it's like, really, you're excited? Like, what kind of response is that? It's like, dude, Fred's kind of quiet, so let him be. You would think at this point he would get that. Anyway, is there anything else you want to add, Cole?
Not really. Most of my stuff is basically on, like, how happy I am that the Hawaii trip did flesh things out a little bit. Though I do confess, I'm dying to know what Makoto had in her Hawaii bag, because I'm almost positive she got a souvenir for her sister.
Yeah, it was a big bag, too.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if An got like a chocolate river fountain or something.
Oh, stop it. Anyways, Zachary, your thoughts?
Okay, when it comes to my notes here, I really only have like 2 or 3 that has nothing to do with comparisons. And 2 of them we already talked about. So I guess the one thing I will say, now this is like a really minor nitpick, but when Futaba's like talking to him, there's like one point where it's just like the subtitles are on screen for like exactly 1 second.
Yeah, even I couldn't read that fast. Like, I say it all the time, I'm a fast reader, but that was far too quick.
With how fast the screen moved, I don't even know if someone native who reads Japanese could read the original text.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I feel like it might have gone by way too quickly. They probably should have had it linger a little bit more.
Yeah, or at least let it overlay over the text. That would have been nice to see, so we could actually like reference it back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, this reminds me of this reminds me of sometimes what YouTubers will do, where they do a joke where they have like text on the screen for like a split second. They have to quickly pause it.
Yeah, I know, and I've done that joke myself many times over.
I love it when Super Butterbuns does it, to be honest, because there's so much sass.
She does that.
But what about my waifus? That's reference to Final Fantasy for beginners. Which one should you play first? But anyway.
Which Final Fantasy should be your first Final Fantasy? Yeah, that was a good one.
It's just like, but what about these other Final Fantasies, Buns? What about my waifus?
No, they don't exist.
They don't exist.
Anyways, Zach?
I don't really have much to say other than I really like it. Not as good as the last episode, but this is still like a really good episode. I didn't mind, I didn't mind the ending. I also yes, we got an appearance by a floofy hair girl that we've been seeing throughout this series.
Yeah, the name I keep saying that Nelson keeps censoring.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was Futaba.
Well, I don't have
the
to...
other one too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, the other one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the other one.
I'm actually running out of things to censor with. I'm not even lying. Like, many of the lines, unfortunately, are not good for censoring, so...
Dean, you mean...
Will you stop it, Zach?
That was just intentional.
Fuck! I'm gonna have to start reusing lines.
It's official. All three of us have made Nelson's editing a living hell now.
Yeah, and now all that's missing is for me to fucking slip.
Yeah, now I'll wait for you.
That'll be your turn.
Make your job harder on yourself.
And I did this on purpose just to make.
I know, you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
I did this on purpose just to make Nelson's editing a living hell.
Going on to She Who Shall Not Be Named, I have a bone to pick with this anime regarding said character when we finally get to discussing later on in their discussions, because good fucking lord.
Oh
Yeah.
God, well, that's gonna take like the majority of the podcast next time.
Yeah.
Please don't let this character get the shaft like in the game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, she's going to.
Yeah, but anyways, when it comes to my thoughts on the episode, I felt it was solid. I didn't think it was amazing or anything like that, but I felt it was solid enough. I like the Hawaii trip way more here than I did in the actual game. I did like that they kept things going along in the right kind of pathing, where these guys were in the Hawaii trip, then Principal Kobayakawa committed suicide from what looked like a mental shutdown, basically, and now Sai's trying to connect this suicide with the previous mental shutdowns to see if there's a connection with the Phantom Thieves. And of course, again, we're being referenced to this idea of Okumura. I mean, we know something's gonna go down, because literally Sai asks Ren, did they have no involvement in Kobayakawa? And Ren says we don't kill.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which I think was an option that you could pick.
Yep, I believe it was.
Yeah, it was. And not to mention, then of course we have the fight itself that goes on between. Here's the thing, I like it more here compared to anything else, and this transition us into comparisons and differences. I do like the fight in the anime a lot more, even though I still hate the fact that it needs to be done. The reason why is because in the anime, it makes a lot more sense for Morgana to be going against a group like this, because he's already uncertain about himself after seeing how much Futaba's capable of doing, and instead of like the group fully agreeing on this idea of going after Okumura, a lot of them are split, and for different reasons. Like, of course, Yusuke wants to gain more information, so does Makoto. Ren and An are on the group of, we should probably wait for things to cool off.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And Yusuke's on the side of Shuei as well, because he doesn't like the popularity that they're getting.
Well, he says we should get more info.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which falls into the whole waiting thing, too. There was actually something I remembered. I think in the game, the reason that Morgana snapped also was because even though Ryuji was originally going gung-ho, when everyone makes that decision to fall back, he reluctantly does go with it.
Yeah, exactly. And exactly, because Ryuji decides, you know what, maybe we should hold off on this. But in the anime, Ryuji stays full on with the idea of going on with this. And you know what? I actually like this a lot more, because it leads to Morgana literally thinking like Ryuji's the only one that's backing him up, and then kind of turns that as a reason to insult him, basically. Hell.
Yeah, because these two never liked each other.
Well, it's not that they never liked each other. It's that they, always kind of had their differences with each other. But Morgana took it a step above. Like, here's the thing. Morgana took it, to the point of it becoming, deeply personal. Literally saying, if you really feel this way, then I guess I hit the nail with the hammer.
This also goes back into the difference when we were talking about the beach episode between Ryuji in the game just blatantly stating, "Oh, you're stating to Morgana. I mean, she's not useless like you," to his more tongue-in-cheek behavior in the anime. Because the one thing that was always a frustration in the game was just how we had Morgana apologizing, but Ryuji literally just gets scot-free away with everything scot-free. Flipping this dynamic to being Morgana being the main instigator, I think works much better.
It does, because because here's the thing, Ryuji was on his side. He was literally agreeing on the plan, but everybody else disagreed. And remember the rule: it has to be unanimous.
No one's unanimous in this one.
No, everyone's split. And
Mhm.
yeah, then it leads to Morgana later saying the only one that's backing me up is Ryuji. And he says it in such a condescending way that gets Ryuji pissed off.
Mhm.
I don't blame him.
Well, yeah, seriously.
Yeah, to some degree, but damn, Morgana takes it even further by just, like I said, deeply personally attacking Ryuji. That's when it goes away from their normal arguments to something a lot deeper.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I had a feeling that was probably the intention that they had in the original, but it didn't come across as well.
Exactly. And I can see them, unfortunately, taking this further in the next episode, which I'm not looking forward to, quite honestly.
I don't
Yeah,
think
like,
any of us are.
Good fucking lord. Like, I'll say this right here and now. There are so many things wrong with the Morgana subplot, between it being poorly written, between it being a reused plotline from a previous character, to the fact that it undermines the introduction of our final party member, who's already getting screwed over for the second time?
Yeah, and unfortunately, and like you said, this is a plotline that was done, one of the best examples, in Persona 3 with the character Junpei. But the difference between Junpei...
And with Makoto just 2 months ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference between Junpei and Morgana, at least in terms of story, Junpei was jealous of the main character because of how special he was and how, he was basically becoming this all-important leader in the group, while Junpei felt like he was becoming second banana. This is what led to him developing some degree of animosity, and hell, even flat out, going against the main character in a variety of different ways.
Mm-hmm. It's especially telling in P3P as well, because during that period of time, you can't do Junpei's social link when you're playing as the female protagonist.
Yeah, because he's letting his emotions get the better of him purely because he feels like, why am I not the special one? Why am I not the leader of all this? Like, what makes this person so special? Like, he becomes very conceited. Very conceited in his personality, but I like that because it does lead to his arc of finally maturing as a character and even apologizing to the main character for acting like such a fucking asshole for so long.
And he progresses so naturally in it, too.
Well, that did take within the course of...
a few months.
Yeah,
a few months. But it still happened naturally.
That's the thing, yeah, and I feel that they actually had the time to develop. And while we have Persona 5 that did it within, 2 weeks?
Not even.
I'll say this about Persona 5 animation. Will you guys actually be happy if they severely cut down on the Morgana subplots?
Yes.
But they're not gonna, because it's unfortunately an integral part of the story.
It's integral. I wish that they would either cut it down or at least do it in a way that's a bit more clever.
I'm hoping that since it's made way more obvious in the anime that Morgana's much more of an instigator than Ryuji, I'm hoping that they get rid of some of the really fucking bizarre awkwardness when they go into Mementos later.
Oh, I hope they don't go to Mementos, because that takes too long.
It really does, and it's just like an unnecessary subplot that leads to a variety of different things. This is why
I really hope they don't do the thing like in the game where Yuji says something really stupid.
Which I wouldn't be surprised the anime tries to do to make it seem like now it's also Ryuji's fault, and I'm just gonna be like, you had me and now you lost me.
Yeah.
Hey, just like in the game.
And I'm also concerned when they finally talk to you-know-who, because I don't know what it is, but it's because of the way that the game represents everything. It sounds like she's only talking with one side of the story.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
and the worst part is the Phantom Thieves. And its worst part is that Makoto and Ren do take it at face value.
Yeah,
the smart ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why I'm saying this is going to not be the greatest thing in the world next episode, but if I could also
well, this anime has proven one thing. It's that they can take it's funny. They can take the worst part of things and turn it into something tolerable/good, while they take the best part of the games and most of the time make it into something kind of bad.
Well, let's hope they don't make this worse. But anyways, another comparison I could bring up, definitely the Hifumi scene. That was far different compared to in the game because one, it works really well for introducing Ren and Hifumi together because she's being basically pestered by a bunch of American guys. And Ren has
Who
to
are clearly much older than her.
Yeah, and Ren has to come in literally with like a made-up lie, basically talk about, oh, our group is waiting for us.
And man, did that scene make me feel uncomfortable because 3 guys and they were trying to hit on a lone Japanese girl. Jeez.
Yeah, well, most Westerners think the age of consent in Japan is still 13.
Yeah.
Which technically it kind of is, but in most places they have a higher age law.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some are 16 or 18.
It's 16, 18. At most cases, 13 is the only place it's still considered 13. Those islands aren't even inhabited anymore.
What else?
I was about to say, let's not open up that can of worms.
Please, let's
I
not.
will open up
Yeah.
that can of worms as many times as I need to in order to bash it over the head with.
Please, let's not.
But yeah, I really liked the Hifumi scene, and it actually makes me looking forward to Hifumi's confidant later because it'll tie back into this.
Yeah, it will, thankfully. And along with that, very much some of the differences that we also see are kind of small in comparison when you think about it. We already talked about the big one with the fight. We talked about the Hawaii trip being a lot better compared to the game because in the game, it was so bad of a trip that they barely did anything. And hell, one of the best lines in the world one of the best lines they say is, like, we're basically, like, like, we're talking with each other, we're looking at our phones, we're like, chatting with people that speak Japanese. Hell, we're even eating at a Big Bang Burger. It's like, yeah, you're pointing out the biggest flaw with this fucking trip.
Yeah, they just screw up with trips a lot in Persona 5, and we already talked about this in, like, the beach as well as in Hawaii, but they did screw it up hard in the game, especially since you're in fucking Hawaii, and yet they barely do anything with it except for the event where you spend time with 4 girls or 2 dudes in the game.
It's like, the thing that bugs me with the game is that, like, the phone thing in the anime, they do it as a joke, but then they actually do look up stuff to do. In the game, they're looking up stuff to do, and then they're like, doesn't this like being in Japan? So they stop looking for stuff to do because it's exactly what they would do in Japan. But they can't think of anything to do that's Hawaii's like because they know nothing about Hawaii because they're not looking up stuff for Hawaii.
And the worst part about it is that they said, weren't we going to have some activities down there? Say, there were going to be activities, but because of everything that happened in the last few months, they had to cancel all that shit.
I was about to say, how much you want to bet that Anna really did go hula hooping?
I'm really fucking convinced, and just because of the way that the game is written from this point onward, that this was when they hit crunch. And they couldn't think of anything else to do.
They couldn't think of any events, and they couldn't even model anything else.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Yeah, just to put this out there right now to everyone who doesn't know, casual fans of the show and otherwise, it's been very much stated that the second half of Persona 5 was rushed. And unfortunately,
considering they had an 8-year development cycle. Arguably, though, a lot of that was probably on ice because of the whole bankruptcy thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was about to say, it was even to the point, now granted this was only really early on, it was even to the point that Hifumi was originally going to be a party member.
Yeah, I heard about that, actually, that she was originally intended to be, and she does have the design to look like one.
Yeah, she was the design that eventually became Hifumi Togo was going to be a more radical strategist, someone to contrast with Makoto.
I would have loved that.
It would have certainly helped with some other plot points later, as well as some debates that the fandom has regarding the Phantom Thieves' methods.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, in the animation, I'm fine with the fact Hifumi is not a party member because the group in the animation is far smarter and capable of doing these kind of plans compared to the game itself. The game, it's like, many of their plans are just hope for the best, basically.
See Anna and Ryuji.
That's literally what half of their plans are. That's literally what most to all of their plans are, except for the last bit of the game, and I won't say anything on that one. But yeah,
it's a little bit better than the investigation team, where it takes them like a motley crew of people that aren't really that smart, and then one detective.
Yeah, but then again,
Yeah.
but even then, they were far smarter. They were far better off at planning shit. And even
yeah, they were. They were more of a collective group. I won't deny that.
Yeah, and even then, their conclusions that they came to were pretty sound conclusions. Some of them were wrong, of course, but then again, they're just working with what they got.
Yeah. While the Phantom Thieves barely have plans and they get in over their heads.
And that's even acknowledged by Morgana when Makoto joins the team and she asks what their strategy is. We just poke around, look around, I find navigation, and then Ryuji's like, and then we beat the crap out of shadows.
Yeah, and Makoto's just like, oh. Like, she kind of understood, yeah, they really have no plan.
So these are really the Phantom Thieves, huh?
Yeah, they're kind of bumbling idiots.
Bumbling idiots with a huge sense of justice.
And a lot of luck.
Justice.
Yeah, that too. Except An has terrible luck.
Oh.
No, she has good luck. Or which one's the one that has bad luck? Ryuji is.
Ryuji, I think.
Ryuji.
Yeah.
But one small difference I do also want to bring up, because I definitely noticed this. Oh yeah, Mishima doesn't have to rush to the bathroom this time.
No, instead he's meeting with someone from the fandom that's foreign.
Who may or may not be the person that he spends Valentine's Day with later?
Does he?
I don't know.
It's apparently implied if you don't romance anyone in the game and hang out with Ryuji that Mishima is hanging out with with a girl that gave him chocolate.
What a fucking douche!
Yeah, like Ryuji says the same thing. He literally says it's like, did Mishima betray us?
What a douche!
Mishima betrayed you for a foreigner.
But anyway,
I turned down 8 different girls for this.
But anyways,
did Mishima hang out with An or something? She loves chocolates.
Stop it.
Stop it.
But anyways, when it comes to there's not that many more differences compared to the game and such.
Well, I do have another minor one.
And that is actually, there is one. There is one that I never brought up, and you want to know what that is?
What?
What?
Is the one I'm thinking of?
Sai never brings up the fact that her computer was tampered with.
There we go. That's what to say. That the dialogue between Makoto and Sai is slightly different in the anime when he's in the shower.
No, it was Sai and that's a small difference. But what I'm talking about is the magnitude of that, because because remember, Sai questions Akechi in the game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, because I think they brought up that it's like she asked him if he messed with her laptop in that game.
And he was offended by that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was.
But it also showed how smart and perceptive Sai is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the one thing of course is now Sai, she's so dead set on trying to catch the Phantom Thieves that she said it herself, she's willing to take whatever tactic it takes to catch them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's getting pretty bad, especially since she's from the prosecutor's office, so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in terms of differences, there's not that many more to talk about that are major. So now we bring ourselves towards basically the final part of this. Is this a good episode for fans and casual watchers? Dean, take us away.
Okay. For casual watchers, I think they'll enjoy this episode just fine. Considering that, especially if you really wanted to see more fan service, you certainly get it here.
So, granted, it's not with the wife who you probably had in mind.
Yeah,
unless
probably.
you're into older women.
Please stop.
Or you're into Hifumi.
Stop it. Get some help.
No.
But anyway, I think they'll enjoy it. They'll probably be curious about how the plot is developing, because I'm pretty sure the Kobayakawa suicide will probably come as a shocker to them.
Especially considering that it shows the signs of him having a mental shutdown, which is very similar to, if you relate it, to Wakaba's suicide.
Oh yeah, that actually reminds me, like, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, just because the way that the camera angles were in the anime, him revealing he had a mental shutdown just comes off creepier, because we don't actually see it happen on screen this time.
No,
yeah,
we see.
I was about to say that is a small difference where it's just like his suicide is like shortened down the anime.
Yeah, like we just see him about to cross the street to go to the police station, but then as soon as the truck makes the turn, we see him in the middle of the road, him turn his head slightly, and that's when you see like the eyes in the back of the head and that black gunk basically down.
No, we saw it in the anime. We saw the mental hit. He was already in the street, and the camera pans up and shows
then I messed
his
up.
eyes.
Oh yeah, I messed up then, but yeah. That's still creepy to think about.
Is it kind of implied he was going to go to the police, to talk about how he was betrayed or something? Because they did say he might betray us out of spite.
Yeah, he was going to rat them out.
Yeah, he was going to be ratting them out.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
he could save his own ass, but they got to him first.
Yeah, and even Sai said it. It's like, why would you go to the police station and why would you commit suicide if you were planning on going to the police station? She even said it that a cab driver confirmed that he did in fact go there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it implies that he was sane before then, but then he turned.
Which is crazy. But anyways, Dean, you were saying about casual fans and regular fans.
All right, I think that's all well and good for casual fans. They probably also are curious about, Morgana actually going off on their own, and probably get to see how that floofy-haired girl finally comes into play. Just for folks who are casual fans, don't get your hopes up. Yeah, harsh truth there, but just saying.
And regular fans?
And as for regular fans, I'm sure they'll enjoy it just fine. If they really like Kawakami, they're going to get a whole lot of her here.
Yeah.
The Hawaii trip is a lot better, and a lot more fun to watch, honestly. And well, as we've shown, it kind of leads to one of the more iffier parts of the game. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Please don't screw up. Please make it better. Please make it better. Please make it better.
I'm not, unfortunately. But anyways, Cole?
I think, as odd as this sounds, I think some casual fans are probably going to be split on this, because technically this is the second beach episode in a row. And I think some are going to be like, move the plot forward already!
Then you see the principal get hit by a truck.
And you feel like, oh, never mind that.
Oh, that's how the plot moves forward.
But I think others are going to... I think I kind of get the feeling that on the casual base, this is probably going to be one of those split episodes of people being like, yeah, more fun stuff everyone's doing, and others are more, get to the plot already. Oh, there it is.
There it is. The guy got crushed.
Speaking of the casual watchers, they'll probably have the question like we were having when we played the game of, so is there going to be another principal, or is there going to be no principal at all?
Oh yeah, you're right. There was no principal.
Or at least a new one established.
Yeah, they never showed them.
I always just thought Ushimaru took over because he's an asshole.
Yeah, that actually makes a whole lot of sense, actually. Shujin sucks as a school, just saying.
Yeah, it does.
Well, then again, I guess it makes sense why it's the only school that would accept Ren.
Well, again, it is the most eventful that happens.
Yeah, they literally say the school is boring until the Phantom Thieves shit kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
And then silence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cole.
Yeah, Cole, what's your line?
Line! I forgot my line, damn it! But yeah, that's my thought for casual viewers. I think fans are going to like how we got a lot more out of this Hawaii trip than we did in the other Hawaii trip, especially since everything's kind of slid together so seamlessly.
Yeah, because I just want to say this about the Hawaii trip in the game. You guys were talking about it. They should really say something how bad it was. When there's only 1 point, you can control the main character.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. And who's knocking on someone's door? That was probably Zach.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
What?
Someone was
Oh.
knocking on a door.
Yeah, that's from my end.
That's why I was
Oh, okay.
asking.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, Cole, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Not really. Like I said, there's just not much for me to say. But like I said, fans I think are going to appreciate the Hawaii trip a bit more. How they feel about the falling out with Morgana and the rest of the Phantom Thieves is another story entirely. And then there's going to be those like me who realize how many episodes we have left and know that Floofy Girl is going to get fucked over.
Again.
Again.
I don't think it was possible, but she's gonna be screwed over more so here than in the game.
You
Jeez,
fucked
God,
up
now
anime.
so
Cameos were for nothing.
Can we please stop with the names? I have to keep track of them, remember?
Sorry.
Oh my-
Well, did you do that on purpose this time?
No, that actually was a slip in judgment.
Oh my god. And I don't
Yeah.
even remember where each one happened, so I'm gonna have to watch through this entire podcast again.
Well, at least
GG.
this is one of our shorter ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's still annoying, but whatever. I'll deal with it. Anyways, Zach, Zach, now your thoughts on casual and regular fans.
For people who are fans of the game, yeah, they might get a joke out of this just for the fact that they may the Hawaii trip is actually better, because they actually do more things and other stuff like that. Don't know how they'll handle the scene that happens at the end, but I think for the most part they'll enjoy the episode. If anything, just for how improved the Hawaii trip is. As for casual watchers, I'm pretty much cool on this, where people might be split because be like, "Where's the plot? I can't find the plot. Where'd it go?" It's like that guy reaching in the air. It's like, where's the plot? Where did it go?
Yeah,
Like,
that's Superman GIF, and you can just put plot above it. You're just looking at it like.
It's just like, oh, there's the plot, and it shows the principal getting hit.
Yeah, it's a little slow this episode. That's why I said, while it is solid, I do have a few problems with it.
Yeah, but Cole did bring up a good point that to casual watchers, if they just watch this normally, they'll realize that, we got 2 beach episodes in a row.
Pretty
like,
much.
I'd be like, is this normal? Crap, what was I gonna say? Yeah. I think some casual fans, might like this as well. That's all I have to say.
For me, I think casual watchers are going to get the most out of this episode because it definitely explores a lot of interesting details, especially after the Hawaii trip. We get to see the group enjoying themselves in Hawaii again. We do get to meet some new characters. We also, again, get to progress the story in terms of Kobayakawa's suicide, and then, of course, the next target being Okumura, but, of course, the group having a bit of a indifference towards this, because, they want to be careful, they don't want to rush into this, but, of course, Morgana splits off from the group to try to handle it by himself, and we see what happens at the very end of the episode. He gets his ass fucking handed to him.
Yep. Oh, speaking of Kumra, I forgot to say this. When Sai brings up your next target was this person, Kumra, but I'm just kind of like, wait a minute, didn't you already bring up his name in the post-credits scene in the last episode, though?
Yes.
Wow, that makes that flash forward completely pointless.
Like, what else is new? But guess what? It's still not as bad as episode 4's.
Yeah,
Or episode 8's.
yeah, that too.
Oh, man. But as
or episode 8.
But as for fans, I'd say pass. This is honestly an episode that if you're a fan, yeah, seeing some more stuff done with the Hawaii trip is cool and all, but that's it. Everything else is pretty straight. Even though they changed up the Morgana, the Morgana Ryuji fight, it's still basically the same, and it's still going to lead to some of the same results, I'm pretty sure, in the next episode. So, for fans, yeah, this is a pass. I would say you can safely pass this one and not miss much, especially if you already know the story up to this point. So I think
Yeah,
if
actually,
you
now
want
that I
to-
think about it, when I first saw the scene of Kobayakawa getting hit by the truck, for a second I thought that they reused animation from Production IG's cutscene
I
in the
did
game.
too. I did
thought
too.
so too.
Yeah.
I did too. It looked very similar. That's why I was like, wait, is this really the animation, or was this the game's animation? Like, I was actually confused.
Mm-hmm.
It
I
looked.
think it's different, but
I
it was
Like
very.
when he faces the truck, yeah, but when the truck's actually moving, it looks almost exactly identical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's why, but that, yeah, for a fan of Persona 5, you can pass on this one. You're not missing.
Unless you really want to see them improve the Hawaii stuff.
Yeah,
And
but
you want to see Ren on his boogie board.
Yes.
yeah, but even
or
that.
if you want to see the Kawakami pics, they're all over Twitter. So
Or if you
Oh,
want to
it's
see Ryuji drag Yusuke against his will to hit on people because he needs a proper looking prop.
But yeah, like I said, for fans, this is a pass. For casual watchers, you'll get some enjoyment out of this, which is why I say it's a solid episode.
All
But
of our opinions are very varied on this one, actually.
yeah, it is. But I think that's kind of the thing. It's like we're kind of polarized towards not only the Hawaii trip, but also the whole fight that went on between Morgana and Ryuji, because those two things were the biggest points of contention by a lot of fans. Like, people brought up the Hawaii trip and how unnecessary it was, and then also bring up the fight that went on between Ryuji and Morgana, talking about how freaking needless it is.
It could have been fine if it weren't so poorly written and resulted in our new character basically getting second fiddle.
And not to mention that it just comes the fuck out of nowhere. It's like, yes, okay, Morgana feeling like he's useless and such, but getting aggressive like this is a bit too much.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember if this also happened in the game, but Morgana says to Mataba, I'm human, and she's just like, I know. Did she also say that in the game?
Yeah, I think she did.
She
yeah,
did.
I think so.
Okay.
She did. But yeah, I think that's kind of why our opinions are so like all over the place, because we just all have our own stance on this entire thing. But
I think we all agree they handled the Hawaii stuff much better.
Definitely, but the fight itself, while they did try to fix it up a little, it's still not gonna. I'm still not looking forward to the later parts, because we all know it only gets worse
Before it gets better.
Yeah, and again, second beach episode in a row, technically.
Yep. So
I don't think we really needed it.
So yeah.
Also, this isn't spoiling it, but I think we can agree when it came to like the game, Akuma, the Akuma stuff was definitely was definitely one of the least fun parts.
And also, if I could be that guy, the next episode's name, my name is Beauty Thief. That should tell you we're not in for a fun time, quite honestly.
Oh God. Oh hell.
No, I'm just looking forward to one particular scene that was really funny in the game.
Oh yeah, that scene is gonna be hilarious, but
Yeah, but
If they don't screw it up.
if they don't screw it up.
I'm
going to go on the cynical stick again and provide a friendly reminder that we only have 4 episodes left at this point.
And 6 if we're being nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, and
I was supposed to say, Cole. Unless they ruin the punchline like they did with episode 8.
and just to say this right now to all the people that are watching, we're not done yet. This palace is not the last one. I can promise you that right now. So, anyways, with that, I'm not saying any more, Zachary, because I don't want to spoil.
No. I wasn't gonna say that, but when it comes to this podcast episode has kind of been all over the place. But that's because this episode was kind of all over the place.
Pretty much.
Yep.
But anyways, with that said, what do you think about our thoughts on this episode? Found a comparison that we didn't talk about? Disagree with us in some kind of way? Go ahead and leave your comments down below, and we'll discuss it in the comments section. So the next time we'll see you, we'll be seeing you for the next episode, which is My Name is Beauty Thief. I'm not looking forward to it.
Well, I know we're being super cynical now, but watch us be like, oh my gosh, this episode was fantastic. How did this happen?
Oh, don't jinx it.
Yeah.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah,
Come on.
now watch all four of us rant for like 2 hours.
I can't wait to hate this episode. Oh boy.
No, but all seriousness, people, we're not gonna be that kind of people. We are gonna look at this with like, you know, an open perspective. We're just worried, that's all.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah, I mean, granted, so far every time I've been a little worried, it's turned out better than I thought. Futaba was handled mostly pretty well. Kaneshiro was handled better than the game. The only thing that made me pissed off is Makoto's confidant.
And
Yeah.
Yusuke's ending.
Yeah.
But,
Fuck episode 8.
and fuck episode 4.
And episode 14.
But anyways, till next time, guys, I'm Keenan47, aka Wolfkeen, along with...
I am David Kami, so Steven Pone 3000.
I am very tired right now.
You and me both.
Hello, very tired. How are you today?
I'm good. You can just call me FlOrangey.
This has been Mario Fanboy 15, and my name is also Beauty Thief.
Go home. You are
What?
fired.
My name is also Beauty Thief.
You are fired, Zachary. You are fired. But anyways,
I just had to think that up on the fly. It's just like, okay, what can I say? I know. Let's say the most random thing.
oy vey. Till next time,
I should punch you.
oy vey. Till next time, guys. Take care.